Hey everyone, I thought I would check in and say hi and let everyone know that I'm still around. I know it's been a while, well it feels like it's been a while. I've just had a lot of things to deal with within, if that makes sense. So anyway, as if you watched my last video, you know that I made heaps and heaps of paper beads from old bowling magazines from my mother and father. I've just got a big pile and I'm trying to use them up, and so my mind wandered from beads. I have separated them into little bags here, so anyway, digressing, my mind wandered from making beads onto making bohos. And if you are a member of the Junk Journals Down Under group, you will have seen me post some pictures of all the beads that I had made at the time. Well, I've made a little bit more, as you can tell. It's just my way of de-stressing, and as usual, you know me, everything is recycled. Just scraps of material, old beads that I've had from my jewellery making days many lifetimes ago. I've got a pile of beads that I'm trying to use up. The only thing that aren't obviously recycled, some of them are, but most aren't, are the little dangles on the end. I did purchase a bag of those because, you know, I don't have many. So this is a recycled off an old, that dangle there off an old necklace. Anyway, so let me get back onto what I was saying. So I digressed from making beads, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make some tubes. So I made some tubes so I can make my bohos. So I will show you quickly how I do one of them, because I don't have plastic straws, I don't buy them. So I just got a page out of one of the bowling magazines, and I chopped it in half with my handy dandy ancient letter opener, and I kind of judged how wide I wanted the middle of my beads. These ones here are way too long. I've got to cut them down, but it'll take forever to try and saw through them because they are pretty thick. So I will just make two. Yeah. So it doesn't matter about the edges because they're just going to be stuck down exactly the same way as we did the beads earlier on. So let me just be quick with this. Let me roll my skewer onto some old glue that never works. It does for this purpose though, which is handy. And let's make some tubes. And you'll have to excuse my throat, as usual, it is dry. So if I cough, I am so apologetically sorry. Oops, what have I done here? I'm trying to rush as usual, so you're not sitting here forever. And I've just ripped my paper. Okay, glue, come on. And as normal, I will be using my fabric glue from Spotlight, which is like a craft store here in Australia. I'm not sure whether it is totally Australian wide, I would say so, but here in Queensland we do have a Spotlight. So it's just the same procedure as the beads. I'm just making a core for my boho because, like I said, I do not have plastic straws or tubes from spray bottles because I don't buy them, so I don't have them. Alright, let me just give that a twist the opposite way and get that off. Alright, so that's basically how I make my tubes for inside my boho. So let me grab some wire, which is just old wire from electrical cables and just old wiring basically, and I've just pulled out the inside from them. I don't go and buy wire, and I do make lots of things with my wire, and it's just all recycled, as I said. And it would gauge from, if anyone has to buy wire, I would say from 18 gauge down to 28, I would say. With wire, if you're not aware, the lower the number, the thicker your wire is. And 18 is it's a good gauge to bend and maneuver. If you're making armatures, like I do with my needle felting, I would use probably a 10 gauge because it's a lot more sturdier. But that would be an 18, and that's just out of some electrical cable that we had left over from a job here at the house. And this one here is ultra thin, like really like cotton, I would say, not quite cotton thin, maybe I don't know, upholstery cotton or something. It's very thin, so I would say it would be 28 gauge. Alright, and I normally make my wire bits about between 11 and 12 centimeters, but like I said, it's personal preference. So let's get started. Let me put my tube on. Let me go through my old beads. This is all I have left, and these are glass, all glass beads. So I might do maybe some yellow, and I don't know, maybe not blues come out. Let me see if I can find another one in here. Just quickly, let's see if I can bring you down a little bit so you just can have a look with me. You might be able to spot it before me and go stop. If I can't find a small, hang on, might be one in that one. There we go. So as you can see, my beads are just well organised. But they are old. I've had them for like forever. Let me see if that will fit on. Maybe that won't fit on. Nope, that one won't fit. Alright. Back to the drawing board. They don't have to be the same colour, but it's just me. I like to be uniform. Oh. Finding the hole when you're as blind as a bat. Is that going to go in that? Oh, I'm not having much luck. Okay. So guys, this is a fun tutorial. As usual. Anyway, I'm just going to go with a different colour. There we go. Different colour. Different mother. There we go. Done. I'm not going to spend all day looking for the same colour bead. Now, let me just grab my well-worn pliers. I don't keep mine nice and shiny because they're like used a lot. And let me just bend that down. I'm going to make a, take them off now that I've got my length. And let me just bend that wire around. I'll get these. These are ones without grooves, so they're flat inside, so you don't damage your wire too much when you're trying to adjust and fix them up. So I'll just try and give this a pinch down. It's gone a bit skew-whiff. No, it's not going to work. Alright. So if you want to make your wire a little bit longer, by all means, it's your BoHo bead. Okay, so that's on there. I'll stick that on. That on. Tube. That and the blue one. Okay. And same with the other ends. I'll grab my round nose, just bend it back a little, bend that over the top, and then we just tighten that up. Get our little pliers. Give it a pinch and try and get rid of that sharp edge so we don't injure ourselves on it. There we go. So that's the start of our bead. Let me just straighten this up a little bit so they're both the same way. Okay, so that's that done. Now let me grab my scrap. My little tiny bowl of scraps. I like to start my boho with this material to build it up a little bit. It's just I don't know, my husband came home from Super Cheap, which is like an auto shop where they sell car things and cleaning products, and he come home with a bag of these cloths, and they are just awesome. So I'm just going to chop that strip in half because it is like stretchy. So let me just, am I in the frame? Let me just try and keep this where you can see it. Alright, so let me put a little bit of this glue from the end of my nozzle on, and we'll just wrap this on. All thumbs, no fingers. Alright. Nope. Oh, be good. Come on. Nope, not in frame. Sorry guys. Okay. There we go. So let's start that, and we just wrap it on a bit of a angle to make it go up the tube, because you see how it fills up the space. And you just give that a spread out, and that way when you use your nice fancy material you don't need to bulk it up too much. Sounds like the mailman out there. The dogs are barking. Okay, I'm not staying in frame here. Let me try and adjust this maybe. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we've got that on. So now we just pick whichever material we think might work. We've got a bit of this. Oh yeah, that looks quite nice. I always start from the bottom, just a bit of glue just to hold that on. And close that. Because I like to wrap my bead in wire when I'm finished. So you don't need a lot of glue, just enough to tack it down. And these are all going into my, if you remember a couple of videos back, I was making a junk journal out of envelopes. Well, I am still doing that, but I'm making these things to go inside because everything in this is recycled. So once I've made a few beads, and I'll be making some envelopes, pockets and things to go in. So stay tuned for that. But I just wanted these out of the road. I was in the mood to do them. So I thought I might as well make a few and put some on my Etsy shop while I am here. Oh, I had a voicemail. I didn't even hear my phone ring. There you go. So now I've done that, do I want to wrap it in some string? Excuse me guys, I need to cough. I have a drink of water, I think. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, back to the bead. Now, I might use that for the bottom, that clear bit. Do I need to wrap it in wool or anything? Let me have a look here. What have we got? What have we got? Actually, no, I won't. What I'll do now is I will get my wire, because I think I want to be able to see that. Oh, sorry, I want to be able to see that design underneath. So let me grab my extra thin wire. I'll have to cut a piece off here, and like I said, this would be at least 28 gauge wire. It's very, very thin. Just take a strip of that off, and this was just out of an old bit of electrical wire cable. Alright, get rid of that. So I've got a big long strip here. So what I do is I stick this down the side so it's buried down inside your bead. Then I wrap it around the middle bit, and now it comes out. Alright, so 1, 2, normally 3 is enough to hold it, and then we get ready to wrap down. Now like I said, you can bulk your bead out, you can add bits and pieces to it if you so wish, but I choose not to at this point in time. And let me grab my little seed beads. I think maybe some blue. Might put some blue on. I'll take that out of there. I've got bits of gem chips everywhere. Anyway, see if I can thread some. And I can't see very good, and normally doing this you get a few on your, see that? I don't know whether you can see. It's a lot quicker than me trying to thread, believe me. Alright, so there's another 2. I was doing one earlier and I picked up 4 at once, and I'm thinking, woo, that's awesome. Okay, another 1. Oops. That's 2, 3. So if you have little fumbly fingers like me, normally, there we go, there's 4 that I've just picked up there. Look at that. And I think that might be enough. And so what I will do now is move this down. There we go, so I don't have to reach up. Is that going to focus? Is it going to focus, or am I too close? How's that? Okay. So then I wrap on an angle, and I make it go around my beads, and I just spread my little tiny seed beads out as I go. You can adjust them a little bit later on. So let's do that. Like I said, all these beads are left over from years ago. Right, so let's just bring that up around this little clear one. 1, 2, 3, and then we carry down the other sides going in the opposite direction, and using up the rest of those beads, and then I finish off exactly the same way. 1, 2, 3. Give it a little bit of a tug, not too much because you don't want to break your bead. And let me get my cutters here. Give that a cut. And my round nose, well, because this is so thin, this wire, you can normally blend it in with your fingernail. And I'll just grab my round, oh, again I'm off camera, sorry guys. Grab that and give it a bit of a around so it's not so sharp. And there we have it. There we have a little boho bead. And then you can just add your dangles on. I don't have any, what do you call them? Those round things that you put on necklaces and jewellery, so I just make mine out of the wire that I have. I just give it a bit of a twirl with my round nose pliers, give it a cut with that, and then I attach, that's the bottom, so then I attach my little hook, and then I find myself a little dangle. And get it on. There we go. And then I grab my pliers, and I give that a bit of a oops, and I give that a bit of a pinch, just like so. Make sure that's together and not sharp. Now, let me grab this. I need something to hang on to that. There we go. Oh. There we go. Those round findings for necklaces, your rings, split rings, probably be a lot better, but like I said, I don't have any on hand. I'm not going to go and buy any, so I'll just use what I have, because the aim of my book is to use up recycled stuff. So I'm not going to go and buy stuff specifically to make this journal. And once we finish the journal, it will be up for giveaway. So stick around, guys. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I just thought I'd pop on and show you how I do my BoHo beads using just newspaper, or what do you call those, magazine pages, junk mail. Make yourself some paper tubes. Like I said, I don't have plastic, so I'm just using what I have. So there's another one done, guys. Let me just stick a I might put a pink one on, a bulb pin. Put one of them on there. So there we go. So that's the one we've just made. They don't take long. There's another one. Like I said, it's all recycled stuff except for the charms. Some are, some aren't. But yeah, it's a good way to use up your scraps, good way to use up your junk mail. And have fun, have fun. That's all this is all about, it's just to have some fun. So there we go. So I think I might give the bohos a bit of a miss now, and I might move on to making some envelopes and stuff out of envelopes, and make tuck spots in that journal, and we can work on that together next. But anyway, thank you for all my new subscribers. I'm nearly 120. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. A couple of days away, and it's like, whoa. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for subscribing. And give your loved ones a hug. They're precious, and I shall talk to you all soon. Bye.